It's Cardinals time.
Hey, kids!
Hey, everybody. Kairi091 hanging out with you for this week's edition of Kairi's Cards Cast. Alongside Brian Lutz, as per usual. How you feeling today, Lutz?
I'm in it. I'm in it right now, you guys.
To win it or to just participate?
I haven't gotten that far, but I've established my in-itness.
Ah, yes. Okay. Anywho's. So, also as per usual, we won't be doing a
Top 5.
this week because I couldn't think of a very good topic for.
Top 5.
What?
Do you have one?
I don't know. Let's think of one. Top 5 shucks, man. Top 5 shucks men. Who are like the top 5 players this season that are like shucks, man?
Okay. What we have to define what it means when a player makes you say shucks, man.
All right, let's see. Player number 5. I'll give you RG3. It's like shucks, man. You're the first round pick for the team, and Kirk Cousins was a 4th round selection. Just back you up. And all of a sudden, they're like leading the division and probably going to the playoffs while you watch from the bench and your Subway commercials. Shucks, man. See, number 4. How about Johnny Manziel? Been bench riding, lucky guy in the Cleveland Browns organization because this is the type of team where the general manager and the coach are like protesting against the 1st round selection that the owner forcibly made, Jimmy Haslam, by selecting Johnny Manziel based on the wishes of that one homeless guy with the golden voice. Do you remember that meme? That one guy?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, a homeless guy. Anyway, if you guys didn't know, he was like, there's a homeless man panhandling, and he had a sign that said something to that effect. Like, I have the gift of voice, but I'm like down on my luck right now. And so this guy came up recording and asked the guy, for some change to do some like radio spot. And he's like, when you're listening to 75.81, you're on the golden channel.
I'm gonna play it right now. I think I'm gonna play it.
Let's you said so.
Hey, I'm gonna make you work for your dollar. Say something with that great radio voice.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
All right, there it is. So that guy on the radio was like, when you're drafting Johnny Manziel in round 1 against the wishes of your coach, you're making a bad decision. But he told so the owner did it.
Wait a second. Did this guy really say that?
Well, not like exactly what I said, but yeah, he said he thinks that the Browns should select Johnny Football, and so the owner Jimmy Haslam did, and the GM Ray Farmer and the coach Mike Pettine were like, no, we don't. That's not our offense. But surprised that Browns didn't do very well. I don't.
You
see why
are
that
taking a long time to establish your number 4 on a top 5 list. Move on to number 3.
So number 3, I'm gonna put DeMarco Murray up there. Yeah, he's crappy. He had 3 touchdowns this season and 9 games or whatever. And I know he's been a little injured and Romo hasn't been around, but if you just watch some of the stuff that he did, it's just shucks, man. Ball coming right at his numbers and he jumps up so that it hits him in the weenus and he misses the catch. Stuff like that. Moving along. Number 2.
Romo is number 2 because he can't stay on the goddamn field. His team would be going to the playoffs, dude.
Yeah, we'll put him in number 2. And then Fudge, dude, I had the perfectest number 1. So how about Honey Badger? Honey Badger coined Savage Season, almost through the end of the season. Garbage time, goes to make a senseless, unnecessary stat padding interception against the Eagles, and then falls directly onto his ACL and is now out right before the fucking playoffs. Shucks, man.
Non-contact injuries, dude. That's it. I mean, Joe Theismann would probably disagree, but they suck, man. They make me sad.
It's Cardinals.
Yeah, it's shucks, man.
All right, let's move on. So, here's what I want to know from you, Lutz. Looking back at last week, we killed them and we destroyed them, especially I feel like the second half, the wheels kind of came off for the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I feel like the final score, 40-17, really doesn't even tell the story of our domination because John Brown dropped 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. especially that opening play.
Oh,
Yeah, because Chip Kelly was like, hey, I'm going to defer. And Bruce was like, okay, you want to defer? First play was just like, go for the throat, touchdown.
Anyway, he should have had it. And he should have had it.
I mean, it still worked out. We still ended up just like marching straight down on him anyway.
Right,
but that was just so awesome.
And you know what else, man? Holy shit, the Eagles get to the line and snap the ball in a hurry. Although that stupid ass counter at the bottom was kind of pissing me off. I don't know about you, but did you see that?
What counter?
At the bottom of the screen, but when the Eagles were on offense, there was a little timer that would be like time between Eagles snaps, like, you know, to show how quickly they get to the line and snap the ball. Which, while it was crazy, like, I don't know, implementing their own special timer for that was kind of gay.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the Eagles is they script like their first 15 plays or so. So they just fly up to the line trying to like push through them as fast as they can.
Right.
And just like keep the defense like on its heels, sort of.
They're trying to gas them. They're trying to gas the defense. That's what they're doing. They're trying to wear them out because the defense has to actively try to keep up with what you're doing. The offense is already ready for it because they know exactly what they're doing because the damn plays are scripted.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, gassing them and also just getting them out of their spots, you know. Don't give enough time to like really establish the type of play that might be called. But the thing is Eagles only call like 7 different plays.
Oh god.
None of which involve DeMarco Murray. Oh shit. That was my number 1 shucks man for reals though, is DeMarco Murray. Anyway, missed it though.
Didn't you say him at number 3?
DeMarco Murray? No, that was Des Bryant. The whole Cowboys team was like
you said Murray. You might have meant Bryant, but you said Murray. And the reason I know you did is because then you went on to mention Romo, and I didn't want to call you out on it, but they're not on the same team.
Oh, my bad. If I had said that, that's not who I meant. I meant Des Bryant.
Number 1 is DeMarco Murray.
Number 1's got to be DeMarco Murray. He's over there crying in Philadelphia. But it's funny because it's like everybody knows that when you give he had like 500 touches, including like the playoffs last season between rushes and catches. And everybody knows that a player doesn't really recover from that or come back from that. So the Cowboys knew it. And then the Eagles, like, I don't know what the hell they're thinking, man. I don't want to dwell on that too much, but we were talking about something else anyway. What was it?
Looking back.
Eagles being dumb. Yeah, they are dumb. And I hate Chip Kelly, man. Like, when I saw him standing next to Bruce Arians, he looks like a legitimate fucking leprechaun. He's like this short, like, little leprechaun. How could he have ever played football, man? Like, in like that smirk that's on his face all the time, it drives me crazy, dude. Like, people feel
that way about Bruce Arians' smirk, though. Cardinals fans love that shit, but other teams hate his smirky, sarcastic ass, dude.
Yeah, but he wins, though. Chip Kelly doesn't win, and he just has that little cocky-ass, like, grin on his face. And I think that the most annoying thing about him is, like, watching him hold up those flashcards for, like, the play calling and everything, like, up to his face. Like, dude, it's just so, like, weird. Like, the way he approaches it. He wants to, like, control and micromanage everything. And Bruce Arians, like, called him out on it because he's like, that's not quarterbacking. Like, you call a play and he like kicks his foot and throws the ball. Like, you got to have a leader out there. You know, that's not leadership when you're putting flashcards in their faces from the sidelines. So, that team's fucking weird.
Here's something. Here's something else. I don't remember Calais Campbell's number even getting called in the Eagles game. It's funny, man. Calais Campbell will have games where he's all over the line and like completely dominant all over the line of scrimmage. And then he'll have games like this where you don't really hear anything. Like, not bad things. It's not like he's like getting shut down or anything, but he's just not really making a lot of noise. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been getting called out by the coaching staff a lot too, because he is a really highly paid player of ours, definitely a big franchise player, and so there's a lot expected from him. And I just, like, I don't know, I feel like he was better like his first like 2 seasons maybe. I don't know why, if he more to prove, but this is like what's tough is because he's such a soft and nice and likable guy, but you can tell he doesn't necessarily have that like killer instinct, which, you know, sometimes that can be like baggage for players, but he doesn't seem like he wants to knock somebody's head off their body. And so I think sometimes he might not have like that over aggression on the field. And while he can stay like tactical, with like their fundamentals and everything, just that like killer drive, I just think sometimes he lacks it.
And you know what? It's funny
sucks.
that I mentioned that about Calais Campbell's performance this week because he was selected to go to the Pro Bowl. So obviously he must be doing something right.
There were some weird Pro Bowl selections that people, I mean, it's not supposed to be a reputation thing, but for Allen Robinson to not be selected for the Pro Bowl with like 1,300 yards and like 13 touchdowns or some shit like that, and then they picked Megatron to go, who's just like, I mean, Calvin Johnson's the shit. In my estimation, he's in like the top 3 most gifted physically receivers. I would say it's like him, Larry Fitzgerald, probably Antonio Brown. Hope I'm not really like overlooking anybody with that. But this season hasn't been that great.
You
and like
didn't say
an
AJ
emerging
Green.
star, second. Huh?
You didn't say AJ Green, but go on.
Yeah, AJ Green belongs in that, but I mean, it's a kind of fluid top 3. We'll add him on top 4 there. But Allen Roberts has just had a spectacular second season. He's just not notable. He plays in the Jaguars too, and kind of got snubbed a little bit. And to that effect, I also think that Andy Dalton got a little snubbed. Like I think he belonged there over maybe Aaron Rodgers.
I thought Andy Dalton was picked, man.
No, I don't think so.
Was he? Wasn't he?
Pretty sure.
Well,
Skip Bayless was saying he wasn't the first take, and I get all my sports news and stats from Skip Bayless. That's why I know so much about the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, even if he was, it wouldn't have anything to do with what's his name, Rodgers, because they're in different conferences.
Yeah.
I want to see who was picked. I want to see who was picked. You got Big Ben, Tom Brady. Is that it for the? That's it for the AFC. They picked 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Rip Pat, what team had an NFL best?
Go on.
No, don't yell at me.
I'm sorry.
You don't do that.
A video started playing. I was looking at a website with the list of the players that got selected for the Pro Bowl, and then this chick. Oh my God, dude! You're not gonna believe what her name is. Her name.
Why'd you take it out of me?
Her name is Prim Siri Pipat.
Siri Pipat.
Yes.
Dude, Prim.
Yeah.
I like Indian girls. My girl is an Indian girl. I like her. Not just for that reason.
My Indian girl.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Mikey Potty. Also got
Mikey Potty. Ooh.
Okay. Let's move on.
I got left guard.
Keep it going. I'm not talking till you finish.
On an open dome. When it's cold outside, he gets hit right on the dome.
Well,
ooh, I got muscle spasms. Gotta sit out a couple of games. Mikey Potty.
Mikey Potty.
Talking about Mikey Potty.
Mikey Potty.
Ooh.
That was awesome. Okay, let's keep going. All right. So the obviously the big news looking back from last week is the unfortunate, god awful news about the honey badger.
So depressing.
I know.
So fucking depressing.
I know, dude.
Like you can't understate what that guy does on the defense. It's not even him making plays. It's how he elevates the people around him as well. He's flying all over the field. He's so versatile. He's coming in like freaking cornerback, safety, and he's just like plug and play.
Dude, how many times do you see a free safety that is known for putting pressure on the quarterback? Like a pass rushing free safety. That's unheard of.
He was the highest rated cornerback by PFF when he
played
that, like by a mile over Josh Norman.
And the only in fairness to Patrick Peterson has a lot of trouble getting his ratings up at cornerback because no one ever throws the ball his way.
Right.
Like he's literally the definition of shutdown corner. They don't even bother
It
passing
sucks.
to his receiver anymore, so it looks like he's just kind of hanging out all game.
Like we're really fucking deep at safety, and that kind of helps. But like, I think the reason that some of the other guys play as well as they do is because Tyron is there with them. You know.
Well, okay, yeah, okay. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you our safeties that we have right now. We just re-signed Chris
I
Clemens.
fucking know who they are. Anyway, go on. Yeah.
Rashad Johnson, of course.
Of course.
T. Jeff's
My
not
man,
terrible.
he's gonna come through and save the day.
And then this new guy, DJ Swearinger.
Yeah, who apparently has been playing pretty well in
Right?
extended playtime.
Right, DJ Swearinger been balling a little bit. So I don't think that there will come a play. Okay, let's say that the Cardinals get into the Super. I can't believe I'm saying this. Let's say the Cardinals get into the Super Bowl and don't win it. I don't think that we'll be saying, "Oh man, if only Tyrann Mathieu had been out there on that play. Oh, if only Honey Badger had been out there for this down." You know, like you won't be saying that. So
it's a long season. We're not the only team that's going through it with that. You consider how good the Pittsburgh Steelers offense has been. Fuck, man. When Le'Veon Bell went down, you would have thought that should have been it for it. But their offense is crazy. Other people can step up. D'Angelo Williams has been stepping up really big.
And I'll tell you what, if ever there was a team that was built around a next man up philosophy, it'd be the Arizona Cardinals. So
yeah, exactly. And then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. When they lost, that one Charlie guy, you thought that they were going to be done too. But now they have forgotten how to lose games.
Oh, shit.
They're the first team ever that's gone on a 5-game losing streak, followed up by an 8-game winning streak.
I'm not surprised they're the first team to do that. I'll be honest, man. I don't want to meet up with any of these AFC teams.
It's funny because the ones that looked the roughest earlier in the season, but in terms of being good, the Broncos and the Bengals have definitely been the ones that have sort of been getting a little throttled. Oh wait, there's one other one also that's been in the quarterback calliope of doom. Who the fuck is it? Anyway,
in the AFC,
I think so.
In Indianapolis, maybe, I don't know.
Well, relevant teams.
Ah, okay. All right, let's move on. NFC West, fucking Seahawks beat my Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that's going to be tough because they're going to beat us week 17 because we're going to stomp the Packers. And I just hope we rest all of our starters. I hope, part of me wants Bruce Arians to, learn something from some of these injuries, whatever that might be, just to get this far. It's hard to say Tyron shouldn't even have been on the field at that point, but he certainly should have been on the field.
But he shouldn't have been bringing that level of intensity. You're up 40-17 in garbage time. Slow it down. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's low risk plays, just prevention. You're beating him. Okay, no pride in getting another pick just to rub it in their face,
or even if you give up a field goal and we win 40-20, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
okay. Fuck
okay.
cares, man? Just be available for next week is all.
Right. And anyways, so let's keep moving on. The 49ers lost because they hate me and they want to get a better draft pick, and they know I don't want them to have that. I wasn't expecting them to win, but I don't know. It would have been kind of cool if they did. And then St. Louis. You know what? I heard. Okay, here's something. I heard from somebody on the radio that St. Louis. It looks like they may not be going anywhere. It looks like it's going to be the Raiders and the Chargers that are going to move to Los Angeles this offseason. So that would.
And they're playing this weekend against each other.
Here's the thing: if that happens, one of them has to leave the AFC.
Yeah.
And if that happens, they're going to come to the NFC West. And if they do, an NFC West team is going to have to leave the NFC West. How would you feel about the Cardinals moving to the AFC West and having to play the Broncos, the Chiefs, and let's say the Raiders twice a year?
That would be interesting. But you know what? The AFC and the NFC West do kind of have some similarities in they're at least this season now that they're really defensively oriented teams. So I don't think it'd be that big of a transition. But I like being in the NFC West. I mean, it's really tough teams that we have to play. It sucks when you get a lot of injuries because of that, but at the same time, it prepares you a lot for the type of adversity you're going to get in the playoffs. So you want to play teams to know where you're at before you have to like get one and done by them in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah. I hope we don't have to leave the division. It's cool that we finally are relevant in this division and other teams hate us. I'm not saying I embrace hatred or anything like that, but it's cool to hear that, like, to go into like our NFL thread on Reddit and see like the Niners, Seahawks, and Rams fans all agreeing on, yeah, fuck the Cardinals, man. I hate those guys. I hate them. Like, because it used to be me and the Rams fans saying that about the Niners or the Seahawks. You know what I mean? And now they say it about us.
I know what you mean.
So it's just kind of cool, I think. All right.
I think Red Ghost was predicting some kind of possible expansion teams also. I haven't like heard or read anything about that, but
that would be a trip.
I know, it's hard to even like imagine at this point.
Well, it made sense. It made sense to bring in the Houston Texans because that evened out the divisions. That gave everybody 4. So it made sense to bring in the Houston Texans at the time they were doing the realignment. I can't even imagine what that would look like if they were to bring in a couple new teams. Where would they go? What division? What division gets saddled with 5 teams, and how does that impact the scheduling?
That's unfair, like a division. All the divisions should be even.
Right, because of the scheduling. Every team has to play 6 divisional games, and then the way it works. But what if you had 5 teams in your division? You would have to play 8 divisional games, and would that do away with your 2?
I can't even comprehend these mathematics.
Okay, let's move on to something less mathematical. Carolina Panthers, what?
They might make it an 18-game season. We did touch on that once upon a time. As much as I love NFL, and as much as I feel this emptiness in my soul deep down in the void of darkness when it ends.
Oh, fucking May sucks.
I can't imagine them adding more games, though. I mean, dude, their guys are already like pushing it to the limit.
Right. Yeah, just look at teams are starting to crumble right now. It's week 15. Teams are starting to fall apart in the NFL. They're starting to get gravely injured right now. All right, imagine if right now we had 4 games left. Okay.
I know exactly. So I think that we're good where we're at.
Right. I think it's great the way it is. The 4-game preseason.
In 4, it's 4 teams in a division, the 16 games, so it's like 4-game quarters.
And then 4-game preseason?
Yeah, that could go down to 2.
You think? You know what?
Guess,
here's the thing about that, and I think we touched on this during preseason. A veteran like Carson Palmer does not need a 4-game preseason because he's ready to go right out the gate.
He can't even play it.
Yeah, well, but a rookie is going to need all 4 of those games to get ready for the NFL. Right. So
except for the 3rd game, though. I mean, no one takes the field in the 3rd game of the preseason like it's bullshit.
Hang on. Let me see if that's true.
Who the hell takes a 3rd game in the preseason like it's bullshit? Bullshit.
Apparently you're right. So here's your thing. Okay. 3rd game in preseason like it's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Okay, you know what? Let's save the preseason discussion for 8 months from now. Okay.
Right. I'll take a note.
Moving on. Carolina Panthers, they are who I thought they were. And the Giants let him off the hook.
What a game, dude. First of all, I don't know if the Panthers should seem scary for that or like vulnerable.
No, they seem vulnerable. Listen, historically on this show, I'm always the guy who's like terrified of the Panthers, and you're always the guy who's like, look, dude, they're not beating anybody great. They're beating a bunch of shitty teams, and they're just barely scraping. You're usually the guy trying to calm me down. I'm telling you right now, dude, the fact that the Giants, OBJ dropped 2 touchdowns early in the game. The Giants should have had 14 more points than they had, and there would have been no late game winner by Graham Cano at the end of the game if OBJ had been playing to win and not playing to start fights. Okay. So, secondly, they let New York get back in it. They let him get back in it. They had a 35-7 lead in the 3rd quarter. Game over. Turn it off and go to fucking Denny's or something. Game over. And they let New York get back in it. That tells me that this Carolina defense is not as amazing as we've all made them out to be.
Not even just get back in it. Fucking tie it, dude.
Tie it. That's what I'm saying. Tie it. Chance to win. Shouldn't have happened. If you're this amazing team, do you know what you do? Do you know what you do? Do you know what the Arizona Cardinals do to mediocre teams when they played them? They beat them 40-17. All right, and should have been more than that. But the point is that's what we do to mediocre teams. What's Carolina do? They let them tie it in the fourth goddamn quarter and barely scrape out a win with a long field goal. A long field goal. It wasn't even no chip shot. They didn't even get down to the 10-yard line. It was like a 43, 44-yarder. So my point is that Carolina. It's not even, you can't even use the excuse we used the week before when they almost lost to the Saints. Oh, it's a divisional rival. Divisional games always are the most intense and they know each other well, so even when your divisional rival sucks, they're still going to almost beat you every time. Right? That's what you say for divisional games. And that's what you say for Thursday night games. But man, when you're playing a regular game just like with the Panthers, or I don't know.
I hear you. I'm glad I got you on the team.
I'm not saying the Panthers aren't great, and I'm not saying Cam Newton's not an MVP, probably the guy who should be the MVP, because I believe he is. I'm not saying I'm not afraid of playing the Panthers. Of course I am. They're playing phenomenal football. All that I'm saying is they are not as good as their record suggests. They're not a 14-0 team. Lutz had this thing that he said to somebody because he's a dick. He said something like, "What's the difference between the 2015 Panthers and the 2014 Panthers? The schedule."
Boom.
So there you go. Okay, moving on. I got it. That was me. I'm done with that. New York Jets are gunning for the playoffs. Are they gonna make it? Lutz, tell Magic Man right now.
Magic Man, your Jets are gonna do it because they got bod tolls.
Click,
for
clack.
whom the bod tolls, Todd marches on.
Bum, 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 bum.
Was that the Final Fantasy VII boss music?
No, it was the victory fanfare.
No, it was.
Bum, 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 bum. Let's see. Can Denver win a playoff game? Or can Denver win in the playoffs with Brock Osweiler?
Only with Brock Osweiler.
Oh. So if Peyton, I'm sorry, like a month ago, I read this story about Peyton Manning when he was in college, and
share it.
I can't tell the story, Lutz. I can't.
I'll tell it. He had a female trainer and pulled his shorts down and caused direct contact between his butthole and testicles on her face.
Sat on her face and rubbed his shit around on this poor woman's face and held her down like she was unable to get up. He pinned her down.
It's called the old Eli squat. I don't know where that name comes from, but
now the Eli. It's called the Archie Manning Classic. He learned it from his dad. No. Real talk. It's a horrible thing that the guy did to this poor woman, and I feel terrible for her. But god damn it, I cannot. Every time anyone says the name Peyton Manning, or I see one of his stupid fucking Papa John's commercials, you
just gotta think about him sexually assaulting a woman so grotesquely, and then because she had the nerve of complaining and speaking up about it and taking action, the school fired her because it's their golden boy quarterback, and they wanted to distance it. Man, what a piece, dude. What a piece.
Well, it doesn't matter because they got Big Brock now. And I have it on good authority that Brock Osweiler never did that while he was at ASU.
Well, paste up Manning.
All right, let's keep moving. Tell me about the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, no, before you do that, here's a point I wanted to make. We've all been talking about how great the Pittsburgh Steelers have been looking as of late and how we're kind of worried about them. Dude, Brock Osweiler and the Broncos could have / should have beaten them. They quit playing in the second half. They had a great first half, came out and just didn't show up for the second half. If they would have even brought 10% of that effort into the second half, the Broncos would have won that game. With Brock Osweiler at quarterback against a pretty complete Steelers team. So all I'm saying is maybe the Steelers aren't as amazing as I was worried they were. Tell me about Kansas City Chiefs, Lutz.
Right, the Steelers are amazing though. Antonio Brown absolutely like carved up. God, what the hell was that guy's name? Miller. What's the name of the big quarterback?
Oh yeah,
corner?
yeah. The one they just drafted, Peters, I think.
No, not Marcus Peters. That's the Chefs.
Oh yeah. No, okay.
The Broncos and like they're super duper. Let me look real quick. You can say something else while I'm looking. I just want to make sure I get his name right.
I got it for you. I'm looking at their roster right now, and he doesn't play for them.
Just tell me the name of their corners. You can do it.
Lorenzo Doss, Bradley Roby, Chris Harris Jr.
Chris Harris.
Kayvon Webster.
He hadn't allowed a touchdown in 2 seasons on his man he was covering. Antonio Brown lit him up for like 189 yards and like 18 touchdowns or something. I think it was 18. But anyway, he absolutely like demolished this guy. It's epic.
What about the Kansas City Chiefs?
They're awesome. They're going to keep winning out, and then they're going to go to the playoffs. And then,
are you suggesting that they're going to bump out Denver for that playoff spot?
Dude, can I say that?
Red Ghost is listening. Red Ghost is listening. Keep that in mind when you speak right now.
Well, all I can say is what's real and the truth.
Okay.
I mean, Denver's been injured, man. So, like, what are you expecting? Do you have expectings?
Dude, Tamba Hali can ball. I love Tamba Hali. Tamba Hali is something else. He has been for years. He's been a staple of that freaking defense in Kansas City for a number of years now. I love me some Tamba Hali. All right, Lutz, I got a question for you. Better answer now.
Ask it.
Can the Cardinals win the Super Bowl without Tyrann Mathieu?
Yeah. I mean, we're deep at defense, and what I was going to point out is that with him going down, we lose something, but then we've sort of gained something at the same time that we didn't expect to have, and that's David Johnson. So depending on how David continues to progress, that might help mask or like tip the balance a little bit in that loss by just having an additional playmaker that we weren't really expecting. Plus, give guys in the secondary a good opportunity to fill in that role. I think that our safeties that we have are really eager to prove themselves in their own right. Safety could be our deepest. Well, I wouldn't say deep. Everybody we have is just so good, though.
Yeah, I think that T. Jeff is actually a pretty good cover safety. Like, I don't know if he's good as Honey Badger, but Tony Jefferson, I feel confident. I think technically he's a strong safety, but he really plays it more like a free safety because I see him drop back a lot more often than I see like Deion Buchanan, for example. That dude's always playing the box, which makes sense because what his skill set is. But
he's like hybrid linebacker. But that's my whole thing is that the guys we have are really good. So it's not like we have a practice squatter coming up. It's just if for nothing else, then Tyrann really just deserved to be part of the Super Bowl game itself. He should be on the stat sheet for that game and contribute directly to the win there. Now, his contribution during the regular season in securing our record and our seed positioning, obviously has a lot to do with how our success in the playoffs is going to go. So he certainly contributed there already. And just with the whole culture for the Savage season and everything. But, just for his sake.
That was his goddamn thing. That was his goddamn deal. That was like it got he brings so much intensity to that freaking secondary, like just his spirit, like the way he carry. He's going to be on the sideline every game, right? I mean, it's not like he's going to not show up, but I don't think it's quite the same as him getting out there and freaking getting fierce. You know what I mean? Just I don't know.
No crap, but they've already dedicated the season to him, so I hope they can win the championship.
Me too.
For that dude's sake, and then do a back-to-back with him next year.
And then how about a couple more after that consecutive, just as a way of making it up to him.
6, not 7, not 8.
I don't think we're talking about a 3-peat, a 4-peat, or even a 5-peat. We're looking at a minimum 8-peat. All right, let's keep moving.
I bet you ate, Pete.
And we're gonna do this week as we do every week. We're gonna do some
Loots Locks.
We're gonna do some more Loots Locks. That's where Loots is gonna guarantee winners for you guys. There is no question about there is no question about who's gonna win these games.
That's fans getting really excited in their fandom for my picks.
All right, everyone ready? Woo! That's an ambulance because the sight of you stopped my heart. Thursday night, Christmas Eve, San Diego and Oakland.
Bang! Bam! Boom! Give me them Oakland Raiders!
The Raiders! That was my Chris Berman impression.
That wasn't a good Chris Berman.
That was an excellent rumbling,
That's not
bumbling, stumbling.
Hi, my name's Chris Berman. Whoop!
What else does he say?
I have a peanut in my mouth.
Gone! He does that too.
Okay. Fingers.
Washington at Philly. Saturday
I got
night
Philly.
for the division.
I got Philly. Philly.
All right. EDP is subscribed to me now because he liked the YouTube poop I made of him so much.
Did he?
I would imagine so. That
Probably.
San Francisco. Drew Hansen. San Francisco at Detroit.
Give me them Lions.
The Lions, man.
Lion. The Lions.
I don't even want to ask you this next one because it's such a dumb game.
Give me the Lions. All right, ask it though. I like dumb game questions.
Pittsburgh going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, who don't give a shit.
Yeah, folks, you can go to everybody you know, secure a loan from them, and put it on the Steelers to win this game outright. Go ahead and do that.
I'm gonna do it.
Lion. It'll be a
Dallas
steal.
Cowboys going to play the Buffalo Bills. Meaningless game.
The Bills are gonna do the kill at will. It'll be a thrill.
Hey, Buffalo Bills. Chicago Bears going to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Devil Buccaneer
Tampons.
Rays.
The Tampa Bay Tampons. They're gonna have to plug up that hole and stop the bleeding and win that sucker. So give me the Tampon Bays.
Hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucks are here and they're ready to play.
Fuck yeah!
That was a real song from like when they expanded the Buccaneers into the NFL to like try to get the people of Tampa Bay to give a shit about football. It didn't work.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit, and then the Tampon Bay fucks won like right away with the Gruden master. Even they get to win Super Bowls.
Let me hang on. Let me correct you. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers expanded in the NFL in 1976. They won the Super Bowl in like 2002.
That's right away in Cardinals terms.
That is true. We haven't won a championship in 4 times as long. All right, Carolina Panthers going to Atlanta to take on the suddenly resurgent Falcons, who actually won a game recently.
Take all your money and put it on the Falcons. Carolina's outscored Atlanta in their last 2 games like 72-3, I think. Isn't that a fun number of stats? So the Panthers are going to win that game.
But wouldn't it be kind of cool if Atlanta did? Moving on.
Yeah, it'd be amazing, but that won't happen.
It's not going to happen. Indianapolis is going to take on the Vikings. One of these 2 teams has something at stake. The other one does not give a shit.
Give me the team that's playing football, which is the Vikings.
New England weird strap-on Patriots going to take on the New York Jets in New York.
I'm gonna go with the Jets on this. It's a little bit of an upset.
You know what? And if this is for all the marbles for the Jets, if they lose this one, they're done. They're not going anywhere. Houston.
My bet's on the Jets.
The Houston Texans going to take on the Tennessee Tacks.
I don't know what that means.
Look at their logo, dude. It's a fucking tack. The capital T that they use is a tack. It's not even like a regular T.
Oh, wait, who are the teams again?
The Houston Texans and Tennessee Titans. At Tennessee.
The Texans.
Cleveland Browns, I almost said Cavaliers, at Kansas City. God damn it, Chiefs. I almost said Royals. Browns.
Give me the Royals.
Did you see that ESPN had the St. Louis Cardinals at number 2 in their NFL power rankings?
I know. Did you see the Cardinals' response to that? They're like, "Oh, so 2 of the top 3 teams have brought baseball bats, or were playing with baseball bats."
Oh God, whose idea is that in Carolina? Or
yeah, y'all heard that like there's a baseball bat in the sideline in Carolina. And the rumor is that Josh Norman was brandishing it toward Odell Beckham Jr., who then felt unsafe, or he was concerned for his safety, as though like the Panthers were going to start like beating him with a baseball bat or something.
Okay, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. The NFL has been dicey this season. There have been pre-game brawls. Okay. All right, there have been situations where the players are on the field during warm-ups and suddenly they start kicking each other's asses. It's happened a couple of times. Imagine if one of the dudes has a baseball bat in his hand and they're not wearing their helmets and shit yet, and that happens. You know what? I don't know. It's a fucking football. There shouldn't be a baseball bat in the field. That's all I'm saying. Moving on.
True.
Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Weird Saints.
I want the Jaguars to win. They're like still in playoff contention, I think. So go Jaguars.
St. Louis Yams at the Seattle Rainy City Bitch Chickens.
Man, I don't know if this is the most obvious one of the week, but this is just the most obvious Seattle's going to win because they are still playing for playoff stuff, I think, positionings.
Yeah, well, St. Louis is playing to stay in St. Louis. New York Gigantes. Hang on, who are they playing?
Yeah, what are they doing? Are they playing a football game?
Yeah.
Bear, who are the Giants playing next?
Hang on.
The Vikings. No, they're not playing the Vikings.
I typed wrong. That's why. Yeah, they're playing.
They're playing the Vikings. Bear knows more about football than you.
No. Here's the thing: is that Indy's playing Miami. I meant to type MIA and I typed MIN. So
oh God,
Indy's playing Miami. Everything. Does it? Who's gonna win that one? Indy at Miami.
Indy.
Really? Okay.
Sure.
Why not? New York Giants go to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. This one matters for the Vikings.
I think
for the Vikings
Bear,
it matters.
Who's gonna win, the Giants or the Vikings?
Of course, the Giants.
Of course, the Giants are gonna win. That's her position.
And she's Indian, so.
Giants.
Let's keep going. Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Denver Broncos.
It's a good game, man. It's a good game.
It actually is. That's gonna be a good game. It's a good matchup.
What time is it? What time is the game?
Monday night.
Oh, it's a primetime game, and they give me the Broncos.
And finally, the Green Bay Packers at your Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals are going to melt them.
Final score?
Aaron Rodgers is going to fizzle into the turf.
They're going to be starting Scott Tolzien. Does he still play for them?
They're going to reanimate the ghost of Matt Flynn.
They're going to reanimate Brett Favre. They're going to sign Brett Favre.
Brett Favre's going to come out in his Wranglers.
With his number 4 t-shirt.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, they still do have Scott Tolzien. Oh, shit, they have Brett Hundley. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they drafted him.
Damn. Oh, man. Wow. God damn, Brett Hundley's good. I wonder if he'll still be there when Rodgers is, like, in his twilight, and they'll go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Brett fucking Hundley, dude.
They grabbed him, I think, in the 3rd round. I mean, that was a pretty good value, I would say.
That's a great value right there. 3rd round for a dude like Brett Hundley. I would have liked to see... I guess, no. It would have been cool for the Cardinals to get him, but, whatever happens, happens. Isn't he from... Yeah, he's from Chandler. Brett Hundley's from Chandler, Arizona. He played... Yeah,
but he was a UCLA guy, though, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, but he played for he played for Chandler High School before UCLA, so... Anywho, yeah. All right. Lutz, tell him something else before we wrap up, because I'm about to stop recording.
Wrap it up, tampon bays.
What?
I don't know. You told me to say that's the first thing that came to mind, man.
All right. Everyone.
Have a Merry Christmas.
And a happy rest of the week until we talk to you, because we'll talk to you again before the year is over. I'm sure of it. I hope. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Go Cardinals!
We care deeply about you. Go Cardinals!
All right, thank you for the fun times.